bathrooms are not conveniently located when you need them.
The gross part of that one is you have to empty it out when you're done.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's an extreme situation. We're all doing life, but who knew it could be this funny? Thanks for listening and checking out our podcast. It's called Doing Life with Maria and Chad.
So we're going to share the story of a party that I had. I was expecting one thing, got something completely different. Let's just say that. And way more people showed up than I expected.
That and more coming up on today's podcast.
You are a liar. You are a fake.
Maria and Chad present.
Is this for real? Do you ever fake it?
Get the fake out.
That was a fake.
I think I'm for real.
Maria.
Yes.
Are you ready to start with a game? We're going to give you a chance to guess which one. That was a weird answer. You. Which of the headlines that I have found and then created are fake? There's 4 fake ones and 1 real one. That's your tip, okay?
Okay.
What do you want? What's your prize? What are you playing for today?
I really would like a new phone. I need the upgraded iPhone 75.
Okay, yep. Since we're playing for a fake prize, we might as well make it a fake thing that doesn't even exist. The iPhone 75 can be yours if you can figure out which headline is fake. Number 1 here, Maria. Fish skin bikini made from tanned and dyed salmon skin.
Oh. Okay.
That's number 1. Number 2. Diver held his breath for 44 minutes and 33 seconds.
Okay.
Number 3. Scientists say humans have the potential to become venomous.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Okay.
Number 4. The Euro Club. It's a hollow club that allows players to urinate discreetly on the golf course. That's a thing.
Okay.
All right. So that's number 4. Number 5. Zoo embarrassed after trying to pass off a golden retriever as an African lion. So those are your 5 headlines. Which one do you think's fake?
All right. Well, I know for sure that number 2 is real. The guy who held his breath for like 45 minutes. He broke his own record. My husband and I actually talked about that because I was impressed when he could hold his breath for 2 minutes. And I was like, this guy's, you got nothing on this guy. Okay. Or the guy's got nothing on you or whatever the hell it is.
I follow you.
The zoo and the golden retriever, that's just so stupid. It's probably true.
Mm-hmm.
Urinating on the golf course, there's not enough porta potties. There's got to be a club for that.
Okay.
The salmon skin swimsuit, probably. So I think you made up the fact that humans can be venomous. I think that's just hogwash. It would take bazillion years for us to be able to do that.
Sorry, Maria.
Are you kidding me?
You can become venomous. That's your prize. You can become venomous. That's actually a real headline.
That's interesting.
Wow.
Tell me.
All right, so we'll roll through these here. Scientists have said that humans have the potential to become venomous. They tested mice and humans and their ability to evolve. So scientists are now saying that they've discovered similarities between venom glands and our saliva glands. And they said that we can both evolve to become venomous.
Interesting. Okay, that was a good headline. Very good.
So the one that you were so confident about was the one that stumbled you up. The diver held his breath for 44 minutes and 33 seconds.
How long did he hold his breath?
I changed the number. So that's fake. It was actually 24 minutes.
Either way, that's a long time.
Well, I thought you'd be dead. I thought you'd be brain dead for that long.
I know.
So think about that. 24 minutes and 33 seconds. So like the length of a sitcom almost. It was a Croatian diver who did that. I don't know how that's possible. 1 lung's worth of air. That's all he had for that amount of time. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, 5 minutes is crazy.
Yeah, fashion is crazy with this fish skin bikini. Tanned and dyed salmon skin. Doesn't that sound attractive? You'd think it probably smells. But it's in London. There's a company in London that's selling them for $335 and up, I guess, depending upon the pattern that you want. You could wear a salmon skin bikini. The Euro Club, Urination Club, it's a hollow golf club that you can pee in while you're golfing. That is real. I saw the video, the demonstration of it. It kind of looks like you're putting. You know, like how you're standing with the putter. Like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So that's how you kind of pretend that you're putting, but you're actually relieving yourself. And sometimes there are golf courses where bathrooms are not conveniently located when you need them.
The gross part of that one is you have to empty it out when you're done.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's an extreme situation. Now, this one is funny until you read the details of it. The zoo in China that is embarrassed about trying to pass off a golden retriever as an African lion. So there's a photo that circulated online from this Chinese zoo. They didn't even try to, because you've seen these like professional hair groomers for dogs. They'll make them look like a lion. They didn't even do that. They just had a golden retriever. And so all of these headlines are followed by conspiracy theories that they're feeding dogs to the lions at this Chinese zoo. It wasn't the fact that they were trying to make it look like a lion. I think it might have been the lion's food that somebody caught on a picture of before it became the lion's food.
That is so sad.
Yep. So that is that's what's happening at Chinese zoos, apparently. I don't know.
Don't Chinese people eat dogs?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so that's like a thing. Like they have like dog on the menu kind of thing.
Yeah.
So to them,
to my knowledge, I've never actually proven it. I mean, it's as a kid, like we had a Chinese restaurant in my hometown, and they're like, oh, they feed dogs. Like I don't know the truth.
Yeah.
But I think it is. I think dogs are accepted as a protein in certain countries for sure.
Interesting. Well, that's probably why it's no big deal to them. Yeah, we're just feeding the lions a dog, but for us, we're like, oh my gosh, it's Marley.
Yeah, it has a name. There it goes. Yeah, but you won't see that movie coming to theaters this summer. The heartwarming story of a dog that gets eaten by a lion. Roar! Simba attacks.
Oh. So over the weekend, you were at my house.
Yeah, I wanted to get your perspective because Maria, before you get into this, I just want to compliment you. You threw an amazing party. There were 50 people there. Is that fair to say?
Well, you think so? Maybe 40, 50?
I don't know. It was a lot of people, and I kind of forgot how big your backyard was. Like, it wasn't like it was crowded. There's plenty of room for that many people, but it was.
Oh yeah.
You have neighbors. And that was interesting.
Well, this is how it started. So my friend Todd sings and is in I'm going to call it a garage band. It's not like they play anywhere other than people's backyards, like our friends. And he's like, oh, you need to have Spring Festivus. And that's Todd's way of saying, have a party and our band will play.
We need somewhere to play. Yeah.
We kind of put this thing together, and originally it was just kind of our Mexico group and you guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You and your wife, Stephanie, and my brother, Paul, flew in from Florida. So we're thinking there's going to be 20, 25-ish people, whatever. And then Todd, who is performing, so I'm not going to say no, is like, yeah, I might invite 10 people. Is that okay? I'm like, all right. Well, now we're up to 36 people, 35, 36. And then we're like, well, we might as well invite the neighbors now because after 40, what's another 10 people?
Right.
So we started inviting the neighbors, and then I kind of felt like I was, 16 years old having a party when my parents were gone, and like you invite your core friends, and then they invite people, and then they invite people, and before you know it, there's 200 people at your party.
Yeah.
I was panicked a little bit because even though I thought the party was really fun, I have a lot of anxiety. I want everybody to have a good time. I put a lot of pressure on myself.
Sure. I think most people do when they're having people over. They want it to be great. Yeah.
Back to the band, though. I thought the band was going to be our bass player plugged in, Todd, acoustic guitar. We have another acoustic guitar, and then somebody on a cajon, which is that box that you kind of have between your legs, and that's like the drum.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Very, very economical and small way to have a drum kit.
Todd shows up with the band, and it's a band, like a full drum kit, electric guitar, 3 or 4 microphones. And I'm thinking, oh shit, we're going to get the cops called on us. But it ended up being perfect.
Yeah.
It really did. It was super duper fun. Everybody for the most part was well behaved. I did later on, after I'd had a few cocktails, our neighbors we've never met behind us, they have like cafe lights, their house backyard looks cute.
Yeah.
And so on the microphone, I'm like, hey, neighbors with the cafe lights, I know we're loud. If you want to come over, come over.
They never came though, did they?
No, but they popped over the fence. Did you know that?
I never saw that part. No, I think I was inside.
So they popped over the fence. And they're like looking. Yeah. And so I walk over there and I'm like, hi, I'm Maria. And they're like, is this your house? I'm like, yeah, sorry, is it too loud? They're like, oh, the baby's sleeping. I'm like, oh, crap, sorry. And they're like, no, she sleeps through anything. I'm like, well, you're welcome to come over. And they're like, yeah, we have a baby who's sleeping.
But you can still come over.
But they kind of stood up and like kind of looked over the fence and were checking stuff out for a little while. I thought that was actually pretty fun.
It was loud. If it was, if I was behind you, I'd be like, well, I'd be curious about what the heck's going on over there. You know?
And they were a younger couple. So, that was how I met my new neighbors.
Well, let me say, like the music that the band played, they were all they performed the songs really good. Like all the songs that they chose to sing weren't necessarily like my favorite style of music. I mean, there were kind of some songs I didn't even know, but they were good. Like I thought that they were a very good band for people that just do it for the heck of it, like a fun garage band type of thing. It's like they're good.
Well, and the drummer I don't think really had ever played with them before.
I think he was filling in, right?
And he's like Todd's neighbor, who plays the drums in various bands like around the valley.
We were there when they were setting up and you and I were talking trying to describe like Rush is a band that has a very famous like huge drum kit where it's got like 7 drums. I mean, it looked like that when he was setting it up in your backyard. I mean, it's like a full-on drum kit. It was crazy.
I got a little anxious, like a little anxiety. I'm like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? Luckily, so we're going to fast forward a little bit. Party was great. I think we were shut down by 10:30, 11. I think is when the band kind of quit and people left. And then you stayed the night, so we just kind of hung out by the fire a little bit. Next morning, you and Steph get up. And then my friend Tracy, who was at the party, calls and she goes, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. We're just kind of waking up and drinking water. And she goes, you want me to come over and make breakfast? I'm like, okay, I have mimosas and coffee. I can give you some coffee. And she goes, if you have mimosas, why would I want coffee? So she comes over to my house, makes breakfast for us, which was amazing.
It was really good.
And then a bunch of my other friends come over. I don't remember if you were still there. I don't think so. They came over, and we went through a dozen bottles of Prosecco drinking mimosas.
Oh my gosh, no! That had started when we were leaving, but no, we didn't see all that happening. Holy moly!
And then I got to the point where I need a nap.
Yeah.
And this is like 3:00 in the afternoon. Like we're all there just visiting and drinking mimosas. Oh, and then Todd came to pick up his stuff and played some music for us on the patio. Like he just like sang. It was so fun.
Huh.
But I needed a nap. I take my nap. I wake up at 6:00. 2 of the girls are still there. I'm like, you guys are still here? So basically, they were here all day again.
Oh my gosh.
Again. We were in bed by like 9. They left. We cleaned up and went to bed.
Wow. So let me ask you, because your brother Paul flew in from Florida. I mean, this isn't a typical weekend for him. Is he struggling today after all that?
I think yesterday after the party, it was a pretty long day because you just partied all night the night before.
Right.
And then he didn't want to like leave. He was like being polite.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was a long day yesterday, but he and I had gone hiking and he loves, Arizona. So we did a little hiking and we're about a mile left of our hike. And all of a sudden he cries out in pain and just grabs onto me, holds onto me. He's like, oh my God, Maria, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. And he's freaking out. And my first thought was he got bit by a snake.
Yeah.
Like he got bit by a rattlesnake. I didn't hear it. I mean, it was that quick. And I'm in my head, I'm thinking, okay, so Paul's going to die on the mountain. I'm going to have to call 911. I'm thinking all this shit. And what had happened is he twisted his ankle and he heard a pop. And I think that pop was probably a rock, but he thought he broke his ankle and he was like expecting it like a bone sticking out, like a compound fracture. But he made it through everything. We actually did a little hiking this morning, like just trail, nothing mountainy. And he seems okay. He bought a little brace for it and has been icing it. I was like, great. You come visit and you get bit by a snake. Perfect. That's a better story than I twisted my ankle on a rock.
It can happen. I mean, I actually preemptively made our daughter feel better when we started hiking. I told her, I've fallen. You will fall. That is part of hiking. The rocks will slip out from underneath you. Don't feel bad when it happens because it's going to happen at some point. You will fall, even if you're doing everything right. I wanted to play for you. I found this story, and you'll know once you hear it why it reminded me of you and pretty much everybody, if you're being honest. Let me just do this. Do you remember the movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Yes.
So this is Steve Carell came on. Kelly Clarkson has a talk show now. So this is him coming on the show not too long ago.
Live on tape from Universal Studios in Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, Kelly Clarkson!
He did
That is awesome!
to introduce her. But that wasn't on the same show. But this happened late last week, and this first time I've had a chance to share this with you. But she told a story, and I think you and I have both been there. She was sharing a little bit too much about herself, and then she realized in the middle of telling the story, and she's like, I'm just going to keep going. Listen to what happened to Kelly Clarkson.
I'll tell you right now, there was one time, it wasn't pee, my friend. I got some kind of wrecked up from some kind of food, and I literally, we were in an arena, and I shouldn't tell this story, but like I said, I don't have a filter. I had to run backstage to my quick change. I grabbed this poor trash can, and boy, I destroyed it. It was bad. And we might have to edit this out, but I'm just saying, it happens. What are you supposed to do?
So when I hear this story, I'm just picturing her sing one of her hit songs, and she's like, I gotta go. She had number 2, and she ran to a trash can and relieved herself. And I just thought, I love the fact that she would share that with everyone, but we've all had an upset stomach, and it happens even to somebody who's performing on stage, and that's like the worst place. It's not like you don't have time to get to a restroom. She probably was expected back on stage. Can you imagine her going back after doing that and what's running through her mind? Like, is anything on my clothes?
Right. Well, and that's why people love her, because she doesn't have a filter and she's so real.
Yeah.
She's right there. She's like the country version of Ellen.
For sure. No, I met her one time, and she is as genuine as what you just heard. Like, just a sweet girl. There's another thing that I wanted to run past you. We're always looking for ways to make money, maybe new jobs in our life. This one is one that really interests me, but I want to throw it at you to see if it's something that you'd be interested in. I know you're not a big fan of watching baseball, but what if you were given money to watch baseball and eat hot dogs?
Oh, I would do that. I only go to baseball games for the food.
So it's not a ton of money. You get $500, but then they cover all of your food and travel to do this, to watch the games. They're taking applications. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down here. Until May 2nd. The winner's going to be selected on May 5th. And they're looking for people that like baseball and hot dogs. And you got to be 21.
Well, I'm 21. I like hot dogs. I don't like baseball, so I don't think I'm qualified.
Well, what I'll do...
You would be qualified.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. And I'm going to put the link on the Maria and Chad Facebook page if other people want to... apply for this. But yeah, you have to be 21, which I think a lot of our audience is. One last thing I want to throw at you, Maria. When I saw this, I thought of you, because the list is called Mistakes All Women Make at Least Once. And I want to tell you
just put me down for all of them.
I kind of thought that could be the case, but there may be some in here that you've not done. Have you loaned someone money?
Oh, actually, no, I don't think I have.
Right off the bat, you did not do that. So you haven't done that one. Have you ever, I know I've done this one, accidentally hit reply all on an email?
Yes.
This is kind of a personal one, so answer if you'd like. This one is asking if you've ever faked being finished in the bedroom.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I have.
All right. This is, I don't know. Let me just read into this one. It says, letting yourself burn out. If you are stretching yourself too thin in work in your personal life, you eventually going to snap. So yeah, you've done that. You've burned yourself out.
Of course. I think everybody has.
I don't know about this one. How about this? Gossiping about a friend.
Yes.
You've done that one?
Yes.
This one's.
But you know what? I'm open, and so I'll tell that person.
Yeah.
Like, we make fun of my friend Tracy all the time because she's always like, "What are you gonna wear?" We're going to the gym,
She wants to look good.
We give her shit for that.
How about going to work hungover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Putting friends on hold when you're in a relationship. Have you ever done that to friends while you're, like when you met Eric?
Probably. I mean, I don't really remember that, but probably.
Staying in a job that's all wrong for you.
Yes. Yes.
Showing up somewhere dressed inappropriately.
Yes.
I want the story on that. What did you think of when I asked that? Where did you show up?
Well, this is actually very specific. So my daughter was like a baby, and we got a babysitter, and we were going to a Christmas party.
Yeah.
And Eric and I wore, like jeans and a nice shirt or something like that. And we get to the party, and we look through the window, and everybody's in like dresses and ties, and we would have been way underdressed.
Yeah.
Way underdressed. And so we literally left and went home and changed and then went back to the party.
And finally, eating and drinking a bit too much, abandoned, a few too many weeks in a row. So drinking too much or
Yes.
eating too much. Yeah, I think I
Yep.
feel like I'm pregnant after coming home from your house yesterday. Like so much food. Oh, yeah, so good. All right, so that
A little bloated.
Yeah, that'll go away in a few days. I think exercise is on the agenda for later today. Let's do the final question for this week. Are you ready?
The final question.
This is a fun one. Some people already answering on our Facebook page, Maria and Chad on Facebook. What's a random line from a movie that you say all the time? And the one that I do is it's all ball bearings nowadays from Fletch. But there's so many. If you've ever seen
Yeah,
Fletch,
I
there's
don't
so
remember
many.
that.
You don't? Oh, so he's working on the. He's pretending to work on an airplane, and he's like doesn't know what he's doing. He's like, it's all ball bearings nowadays. He's talking to somebody who knows what he's talking about. And it goes into this Fetzer valve thing. If you've seen the scene, it's really funny. But the thing about that movie is I know in general what he says in certain times, but he says things so fast. Like it's really Chevy Chase is kind of not what he once was these days, but at that point in his career, he was really funny. I liked his stuff.
Well, and that's one of your favorite movies, right? Don't you have the Fletch T-shirt or jersey or something?
I do, and if Georgia, our daughter, was going to be a boy, she would have been named Fletch. We were talking about
Really?
that as a boy's name. Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
And
Okay.
actually, believe it or not, Stephanie was on board with that. So, because we didn't know what we were going to have until we had Georgia. So.
Okay, so for me, the first one I thought of was "You're Killing Me, Smalls"
That's good.
from The Sandlot. I mean, I think I say that a lot.
Yeah. Oh, you do.
You're killing me, Smalls. And then since I love Jaws, I always say you're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric and I will be somewhere and we're like, oh, we're going to need a bigger boat.
On Facebook, Jacob says, "Sucks to be you, nerd," from Grandma's Boy. Let's see. "I'll be back" from the Terminator. That was one on here. Let's see. "You're killing me, Smalls." Sarah actually put that on our Facebook page too. Let's put a like.
Hey,
on
Sarah.
liking it right now. She's listening to the podcast. "I want my $2." Brian, isn't that from what's the kid with the newspaper, right?
Is that the Christmas Story?
Is it Christmas Story?
One of those where, the kids, "I want my $2." Yeah.
And then there's, let's see, 2021, whatever it takes. There's a bunch
I
of...
think I used "That's Gonna Leave a Mark." I don't know what movie that's from, but
Yeah.
I've said that before too.
Yeah. Let's do this.
That's gonna leave a mark.
If you want to comment on our Facebook page, easy to find us. Just look for Maria and Chad. We'll also we'll have a hotline open if you want to call and leave a message. We'll play back your answers on our next podcast. Our phone number to call, 424-235-3657.
Again, I'm going to give the number one more time because I have it in front of me and I'm prepared.
Okay, go ahead.
424-235-3657.
Operators are standing by.
Thanks again for listening to Doing Life with Maria and Chad. Follow us on Instagram @Maria and Chad and Facebook. You can now listen for free in all these places: the radio.com app, on the iHeartRadio app, Spotify, the Amazon Music app, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Pandora, Podbean, and of course, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode.